All right, man. Let's talk about Trinity Benson, man. Apparently he's improved, made some leaps and jumps from last year. I think a lot of people, the Detroit Lions organization, or the fan base, maybe even some people in the organization that wrote him off. But you got to look at the backstory here. He been in the league 3 seasons going into last year. He 25 years old, late bloomer. Went to East Central University, which I ain't never heard of East Central University. It is a regional university system of Oklahoma. It is in Ada, Oklahoma. Never heard of it before. So he was probably a late bloomer. Probably was a track star, something like that. He rushed for 324 yards and 5 touchdowns with 407 yards and 4 touchdowns and 45 receptions. So he played all over the place. But he was in Denver last year. He was tearing it up in Denver, and Brad Holmes got attracted to what he was doing in Denver. He knew he was lacking some help on the outside of the receiver. Myra was an inside receiver. I remember he sat there and he gloated when he drafted. I remember he got there and he gloated when he drafted Ahmad Ra, um, and said, "Y'all happy we finally took a wide receiver?" And I was just like, "All right," you know what I'm saying? I mean, this dude was more of an inside receiver for us. We still needed help on the outside. He brought in Khalif Raymond. Gadget guy had a better receiver than you thought. Quintez Cephas was a slot receiver. Tom Kennedy was a slot receiver, and his answer on the outside was Tyrell Williams. And Tyrell Williams didn't do anything. They came to a split settlement with him. He was no longer there. So like I said before, some of the people talk praise Brad Holmes talking about he the best GM we had, man. He ain't did shit in my opinion. Excuse my French. He made a lot of rookie mistakes. I mean, trading for Jared Goff was trash. Trading even late draft picks and panicking for Trinity Benson was trash. All right. You know, like I said, he made some other mistakes. I mean, his first two picks last season, not this past draft, but 2021 draft was he drafted two guys in a row who missed the whole college system, previous system, and obviously Penny Sewell made the jump and Levi Anzorki didn't. And part of his missed jump was going into a 4-3 defense when he never played that and coming off a year of inactivity. So, I mean, this year obviously he took a few drafted players. A couple of draft picks got injured last year, so I mean it's part of the game. But he gambled on Trinity Benson, on a guy who are just getting acclimated to the playbook and to the NFL talent level in Denver, and you change him, a couple weeks before the regular season, throw him in there 5 games, and he don't do much. So glad he didn't cut him though. But it's his line receiver Trinity Benson making an early impact with more confidence, less overthinking. So it says Detroit Lions didn't give Trinity Benson much time to settle in last year. Detroit traded for the 24-year-old wide receiver less than 2 weeks prior to their season opener. And Benson was immediately asked to jump in the lineup. He played 49 snaps in week one and at least 20 snaps in each of the team's first 5 weeks. Remember, Terrell Williams got injured in week one, never seen him again, I don't believe. Unfortunately for Benson, it didn't click right away. He caught 6 passes, 55 yards in those 5 games combined, as Detroit passing offense limped through the first quarter of the season. And they basically leaned on Tyrell Williams, which he ain't did shit and he hadn't done nothing in years. He was the only outside receiver they really had. It was definitely challenging, Benson told reporters Wednesday, just coming from Denver, just being with them during the preseason, learning their offense, and then coming here basically week one trying to learn this offseason, basically just getting thrown off the deep end. At the end of the season, Benson was determined to make it work. He met with head coach Dan Campbell to see what he can do to turn around his fortunes. In Detroit, quote, he came up after the season. He was like, Coach, what do I got to do? What do I really need to do? Campbell said. And we talked about it, and he took it seriously. He said, the results have been noticeable during the Lions offseason programs. While Benson is repping with the second team offense, he's been making huge plays on a daily basis with his capabilities of both stretching the ball down the field and being used as short yardage with the yards after the catch potential, or short targets after the catch potential. Campbell credits Benson God-given speed and, more importantly, a confident, mentality that is processing things quicker now. Speed, 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 speed. Like that's what's really showing you didn't always feel it because he was feeling his way through it. Campbell said, quote, he wasn't real confident as to what do I need to do here. What's the look? Should I lean on him? Should I break in, out? And then the quarterback is waiting on him. There's just some rapport that comes with it. And so I think his confidence is up. And the speed is really showing. Benson too admitted that he was guilty of overthinking last year. He said, quote, last year, I was just really out there thinking, Benson said. The mind was trying up to the feet. Now I'm learning the offense. I'm getting those reps that I really needed last year. I'm getting them this year. Now I'm just playing freely and making plays. So it was impossible, bro. It wasn't like he was established NFL player. He had been through multiple playbooks. He was ready. No, he wasn't ready, but could be a could be something like an annuity payment paying off in a long term. But they might need him. They might need him. Training camp injuries happen. You look at the top receivers. You know, it's a Shark. He coming off injury. Ahmad Rod, he in the slot. Josh Reynolds, he a baller. But after that, it get murky. Khalif Raymond, he was solid, but he's a special teams guy. He can step in when he need to step in. Quintez Cephas, he a slot guy. Jameson Williams, probably going to wait to see him, and then Trinity Benson is right on time. He going to provide some type of comfort behind the two outside receivers that's going to stretch the field. If one of them go down, they're going to lean on Benson. Yeah, Cephas go out there and do it a little bit. Ahmad can do it a little bit, but they meant primarily slot receivers. So he, like outside of Jameson Williams, he's the only real stretch the field receiver behind Reynolds and Sharp. To his credit, though, Benson has not only made the impression making plays on offense, but Detroit believes in his potential as a special teamer. Quote, he's pretty tough. I think he can help us on special teams, Campbell said. I think he can be the gunner. And so if we feel that speed, he continues to catch the ball and do what he's done this spring, and then comes out and competes as a gunner, especially, I think serves us well. So Benson knows with the competition is much tougher this year, so he's focused on making the most of every rep he gets, whether it be a receiver or gunner. Quote, every time the ball comes my way, I look at it as an opportunity. Every time I'm out there, it's an opportunity to make plays. I just make the most of every opportunity. So, like I said before, bro, like they can he can help on special teams, but to be honest, ain't too much cushion behind the two outside receivers, bro. Ain't too much. Because Jameson Williams, he injured, and it's him. Cephas and Ahmad Rod, they good in the slot. And Cephas can play on the outside of Ahmad, but they not him. They're not X and Z receivers. So that's something to look at. So, this might be just on time for them. And if he arrives and he contributes like that, you can lean on Khalif Raymond a little bit, but he more of a gadget guy. So if he does his thing, bro, it's gonna be to the point where it's gonna be the point where you know they might need him. He gonna make the team because Jameson Williams might not be ready. Period. So with him, arriving and doing well, then guess what? Jameson Williams might, take more time. If Jameson Williams come and hit the ground running, Trinity Benson come and hit the ground running, you might not see Josh Reynolds and DJ Shark back. I know it might be a long shot for both of them to do their thing, but you know, but if they do, because that line's a lot of money. So I mean, they in a good position, but injuries change that quick. We've seen in the past when injuries make us do stuff we look like that's a lock to be the strength of the team, you tear through it. So you need that, especially with Jared Goff throwing them ducks. You need that depth at receiver. Because they're not getting vertical with Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift. So you need to get vertical. So them getting vertical and having more depth vertically this year, it's gonna be interesting though, very interesting. But it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Want to financially support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Outside of that, man, I appreciate the love and support. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Don't forget, check my main channel out, Goodfella TV for more sports, music, news, and entertainment right here on YouTube. That's Goodfella TV. Appreciate you guys. One time for the one time. Peace.